What's up, witches? Welcome to Shell's Spells, a place for spell crafting, fortune telling, and other fun witchery. So, grab your grimoire, light your cauldron, and let's make some magic. The tools you will need: 4 white candles, 1 red candle, a glass dish, basil, rosemary, ginger, vanilla incense, a pink square cloth, red string. Place the white candles in each of the 4 directions, 1 at north, 1 at east, 1 at south, and 1 at west. Light the incense. Light the red candle. Let the wax from the red candle drip into the glass dish until the wax is about the size of a dime. When the wax is cool but still malleable, add the basil, ginger, and rosemary herbs. Mix together with the wax, concentrating on love coming into your life. While concentrating, form the wax into the shape of a heart. Wrap it up in the pink cloth, tie it with the red string, and hang it above your bed. It is done. So for all of you witches who are taken and you just want to add some zest into your relationship, this might be the spell for you. The tools you will need: 1 red candle, orris powder, patchouli oil or musk oil, and your bed sheets. Wash your bed sheets. Add the patchouli or musk oil to your final rinse cycle. After the sheets are dry, put them on your bed and sprinkle the orris powder between each layer of your quilts and comforters. Light the red candle whenever you are in bed together. This should definitely add spice. Blessed be. Warning: the following witch lore contains graphic content. Myself, nor the channel, condones animal abuse or devil worship. Viewer discretion is advised. This is from the source American Witch Stories by Hubert J. Davis. Conjure Bones and Bloody Sunrise. The evening sun of our first hot June day dropped behind Piney Ridge just as Pa and I arrived on horseback at Granny Jordan's little 2-story log cabin nestled in the woods. I was to stay with Granny for 2 weeks. After a big dinner of cornbread, cold buttermilk, and fresh blackberry pie, Pa mounted his tired horse and headed back toward Norton. I was tired and sore from the long ride, but I insisted on helping Granny with the dishes before she tucked me into bed on the 2nd floor. I remember that it didn't take long for me to fall asleep. I awoke in the middle of the night, screaming. Out of nowhere, something heavy, furry, with big black feet, sharp claws, and shiny eyes thumped down on my chest, then sprang to the floor and ran away. Granny Jordan ran to my bed holding a little oil lamp. "That cat scared you, didn't it, honey child?" she asked. Before I could answer, she put her arm around my neck and explained what had happened. "You see, them rafters are just against the logs. When they built this cabin, they left a cat hole in the roof. Ghosts, falling cats, Was this actually real, or was I dreaming? Needless to say, I didn't go back to sleep, but I just lay there trembling, afraid to relax until daylight. My first day's visit at Granny's was spoiled before it even began, because at breakfast everybody laughed at my childish fears. They didn't understand how I could possibly mistake a cat for witches, but they blamed it on the fact that all of my 10 years had been spent in the city. Granny laughed at their chiding, but said she was sorry that my visit got off to a bad start, and she promised to make it up to me. Now, Sheila Jane, if you'll help me churn butter this morning, I'll tell you more witch stories than you've ever heard in your whole life. They brought the big wooden churn filled with sour cream into the cabin and placed it in front of the fireplace. Granny dragged up her favorite rocker, sat down, and began the slow, rhythmic motion of lifting the dasher and pushing it down through the cream. Her small, piercing black eyes sparkled like the coals in the fireplace, and a very serious expression came over her wrinkled, tanned face. I reminded her, "Please, Granny Jordan, tell me all you know about witches." "Well, child," she drawled, "there's more to know about witches than I could tell you in a lifetime if I'd lived to be 100. But I'll tell you first a few ways that I learned about how you could become witches and how witches is made." She began. "Many years ago, your grandpappy once told me the quickest way to get to be a witch was to first go out and catch a big black cat. Then you go to a spring with a branch running due east. Next, put a kettle on a hot fire, throw the live black cat into the boiling water. Let it boil till the meat come off the bones. Drain off the water, let the bones cool. Then put them in a basket and tote them to the spring. Set down beside the spring and start a-washing them bones in the branch, one at a time. Keep your eyes on the spring branch at all times in case after the devil will come in the stream and get you. The bone you're washing when you first see the devil is a lucky bone. The devil will make you take an oath to serve him, and then he'll leave. As soon as he leaves, you throw all them other bones in the branch and put the lucky bone in your pocket. The lucky bone will make you a witch. But you have to keep that lucky bone with you all the time. In case you lose or forget it, you lose your magic power." Granny glanced toward the window, and as she stared out at the dripping trees, she continued, "I've been told another way to get to be a witch is to first go to the top of a high mountain, throw rocks at the moon, and cuss God Almighty. Then go find a spring where the water runs due east. Take a brand new knife, wash it in the spring, just as the sun rises, and say, 'I want my soul to be as free from the saving of Jesus Christ as this knife is of sin.' Do this for 12 days in a row. If and on the 13th day the sun rises a dripping blood, it's a sure sign you're becoming a witch." She continued, "I once known a gal who got her mind set on being a witch. She told me she went to the dark midnight oldest witch woman there was and asked her how to get to be a witch. The old crone was so happy that she wanted to know, she danced a jig right then and there. Then she told the gal to go to the fireplace and then catch hold of her right foot with her left hand and put her right hand on top of her head and say, 'All between my hands I give to the devil.' Another way to get to be a witch is to catch a black cat, scratch it on its belly till it starts to bleed. Then take this bloody black cat to the holler where there's a crick. Build a fire on the bank, boil that cat till the meat comes off the bones. Sort out the cat's left shoulder blade and pour the rest into the crick and watch it float away. As it gets out of sight, say these words, 'In the name of Beelzebub, succubus, the archangel of hell, I pledge to be loyal to the devil the rest of my days. I promise never to pray to God again and never to darken the door of a church, come hell or high water.' Then bore a hole through the cat's shoulder bone, get a red string, tie it to the bone, wear it round your neck. You're showing to be a witch."